Foy.
To clinch her second title of the season. Indeed. Brandon. There it is. Nice. Bang.
Winning shot. Simo.
Well, good morning. Welcome back for the final time here at Sam's Town, Las Vegas. USBC Masters Show Day, Championship Sunday. We are going to crown a major champion here today. Craig Elliott with Jim Callahan on the call. Jimmy, we saw a lot of bowling, a lot of great matches, some pretty high-scoring stuff the last couple of days.
Definitely did.
This stepladder final is pretty stout.
Yeah, there's major champions, there's PBA Hall of Famers, there's newcomers, there's a guy trying to make history by going back-to-back in the Super Senior Classic and the Senior Masters. We have a lot of stories right here.
Yeah, I think, that's kind of the most unique one. I think that, we see a lot of different things throughout the years, defending titles, winning multiple titles. But James Campbell came in here a week and a half ago, wins the Super Senior Classic for his first national title ever, and here he is, the 5 seed, to do the old double dip. That's pretty impressive. A lot of guys have tried it, nobody's done it.
That's incredible, absolutely. He worked his way in all the way through the matches. Last night he ground his way into the TV show. He's got a long way to go, but you know what? Last week he had a long way to go too, and he got there. So
well, his first stop here, though, a guy that's made a bunch of shows last year, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players we've seen, in our lifetimes, Mika Koivuniemi. And Mika did numbers we talked about. He averaged 243 in match play. That's 7 1/4 a set. That's a lot.
Yeah, he was incredible yesterday. He's playing the lane. It's funny, we have some different looks. We have Tony Franklin going to shape urethane. Mika's looking for hold. I think James Campbell's kind of in the middle. And I don't know what's going to happen with Daugherty. I think that he may have to get into reactive, so we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, and I think he will. He did it a little bit during the matches. He kind of had a plan, and it worked out for him. He had a pretty good average. Well, he was probably about 2 1/4 average.
Yeah.
Not quite Mika numbers, but pretty solid for Tom. Never had a lot of pressure on him. A couple more minutes yet to go and practice. Let's get out the lane and see what these players are doing as we talk about the rest of this field here this morning for our final.
Let's go to work.
You mentioned Tony Franklin. I was surprised it was his first show. He's only been out here a couple of years part-time, but I thought he made his show the first year. He must have been really close, but this is his first chance.
This tournament he was close.
To this one especially. First chance to win a title, but a very accomplished player. The guys in the bowling world, they know Tony, right? He's not going to sneak into a bowling center and somebody's not going to say, not going to say, who's that guy?
Yeah, he bowled on the tour.
Very accomplished player.
Yeah, he bowled on the regular tour back in the day. Good friends, with Del Ballard in that Dallas area, and don't sleep on him.
And then, guy that's not too bad, the 2 seed, Parker Bone III.
Looking to make it a lefty year after 20 years of no lefty winning. The last lefty to win is Vince Mazzani Jr., so if anybody can do it, that guy can do it.
That's a pretty crazy stat when you go through the years on how many lefties make the bracket, how it goes. But as you whittle down, they knock each other out, and we're down to just one. And it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, they thought there was going to be more. There was a bunch of them going through the bracket, but the same thing happens every time. They bowl each other. They're just all the way through the thing. It just always breaks down. We could have had 2 if Andy Nyer would have made it, but James Campbell came up large and made it into the stepladder.
And then our tournament leader, Tom Daugherty. He's got 3 titles, one of them major on the regular tour, 3 and a major on the regular tour, so that's 4 titles. He knocked Parker into the 2 seed in the 1 versus 2, 7-17 to 6-28. So he's got to be beat twice. Big advantage there.
Huge. You got to remember, this guy's already a major champion on the regular tour, so he has a chance to become a major champion on this tour. That hasn't happened very often.
Not a lot of guys. And interesting, the one stat you brought up about the major titles. Also, we have 2 players, Mika Koivuniemi, Parker Bone III, looking to add their name to winning both of the Masters, the regular and the 50.
That's a great stat.
3 other guys have done it. You know who they are?
Weber?
No.
Well, Weber's never won that one. Not Barnes. Chris Warren.
Chris Warren, yep.
I don't know the other 2. Who's the other 2?
Tom Hess.
Oh, I should have known that one. I'll hear grief.
And the guy that's usually the trivia question answer to every PBA record that's out there.
Walter Ray.
Yeah, Walter Ray.
Yeah.
So it's been done 3 times. 2 guys with a chance to become the 4th to add their name to that as well. So kind of a cool little stat there, too.
That's a big. We have a lot of storylines here.
We have a lot. James Campbell, we watched him last night in that 4 for 3. He struggled a bit. I mean, he got to the point where it was a little iffy. We saw him limping. He says he feels really good. Once he left here last night, the old adrenaline left his body. He was sore for a bit. Got a great night's rest. And we're ready to go here. Mika and James Campbell in the opening match. His plan was to stay right with that urethane. We saw him get comfortable last night. They worked well, finished strong. And this place got really quiet there, Jimmy.
Definitely. One of his keys here is to keep his hand forward so the ball will read the front part of the lane and not go, be so responsive to the friction down lane. He did a really good job of that there.
Then, of course, a lot of things can be said about this gentleman right here. He's won a lot all over the world. Eight consecutive shows last year on the PBA 50 Tour.
That's a little bit more shape than I thought Mika was going to have there. He was playing a little bit more of the hold the last couple of days, and obviously his scoring pace of 243 the last 2 days has been crazy.
Well, there was a fair amount of practice on the championship pair before these guys started. We've seen Mika jump into that gem. That's his transition. He goes from the urethane into the gem. Maybe if he gets past this game here, he'll be in it a little quicker than expected. Spare, no problem. Yeah, you talk about that 243 average. How about these sets for Mika through match play? Opening set, 693. That was his low. 709, 732, 771, 723, 720, 774, and 720. It's tough to beat that.
Very tough to beat.
And his 732, he lost to Tony Franklin, who shot 743. That's why Mika got knocked down into the contenders bracket. Break this down, Jimmy.
Beautiful arm swing. Gets it out on the lane, right down 5-6 to 3, 10 back. Can't be much better than that. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
One of the straightest arm swing you were talking about that we've ever seen, right?
Yep. Takes the early hook out of play. Purple hammer he's using. Hesitated just a little bit there. See at the beginning where he was going to go, and then he stopped.
And that's has been his miss the last couple of days, though, right? Just creep a little high, might get a little left with it off the hand, or just a touch slow.
That was a bit slow. I watched on his setup. He had a little bit of hesitation there, like he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do. Needs to get the count here.
Shake it off, make a better shot.
We'll let that go. I mean, he's been really concentrating on his process, his setup, making sure he's doing everything. When he steps up, he's ready to go, so it doesn't take too long on the approach. Trying to get faster.
A light mixer. but they all fall down.
Yeah, better shot there. Kept his hand up the back a little bit more. Posted that one up. Like that one.
I did get a chance to talk to Mika this morning. It was kind of funny because we're just kind of prepping, getting ready, and he asked me not to mention the jersey, so I won't point it out specifically, but he says he's here for revenge today. And I'm thinking, on Tony for knocking you in, or on Parker? He said, no, on Barnes, because he has to wear that jersey because of his bet with Chris Barnes. So I said, well, if you win with this jersey on, you got to wear it again. He said, no chance.
There is a rumor out there that Chris said he hopes he wears it for the whole hour and a half or 2 hours, too. That's the word on the street.
Could it be a one game and done if
yeah.
he keeps working this step ladder?
Chris is hoping he wears it the whole time, and I'm sure Mika actually is hoping he wears it the whole time as well. Be interesting what that bet is. Is it 1-1 or?
There was more to that conversation that I won't necessarily share in there, but it was pretty fun.
But I remember they had a bet before from a TV show, and I can't remember who won the other one.
Yeah, Mika's lost a couple.
There was some unicorns on his shirt or something, if I remember.
They've had fun with it.
Back in the day.
Back-to-back 10 pins on that right lane for Mika. Anything stand out on those shots, Jimmy, or just?
Yeah, he didn't seem very happy after that one happened. I don't think he loves his look right now. This isn't really how he played him. I mean, he played a little bit more hold. He's shaping it much more than he did before. We'll see what he does here.
That was a little bit left than the last shot. That was more 6-7 instead of 4-5.
That's closer to how he played, and he kept it in front of him. He didn't get it to the right. Had that hit the whole time.
See what Campbell's adjustment is here off his split. I think just make a better shot.
100%. He just got soft. He hesitated a little bit from the start. He started to go, and he hesitated, and then he backed up. He should have set the ball down and started over. Left. Ooh.
Look at that reaction. So let's take a quick look at what these players are bowling on.
We're bowling on 38 feet. It's 2-to-1 ratio. The drop brush is only going 35 feet, so you have 3 feet of transition from the end of the pattern to buff out to the distance. The tanks are ice in both. You have volume is 33.2, which is a little bit on the higher side. And most of the week, most of the people played to the right, especially when we got into matches. The urethane definitely played much better. And you'll see on this show that we'll have a bunch of urethane on this show. Every righty should be using urethane.
Yeah, it feels like once the players really got a good idea what the pattern was doing after it was put down a couple times, that there was nobody really got left of 8-9. Right on top of where Mika's shot was. A couple good shots there for James Campbell.
Yeah, they all migrated to the right. There's enough hook off the edge, or if you want to play the hold a little bit like Mika is, you have both options.
It's surprising you mentioned how he didn't back off before he threw that split. He's a college coach too, and they teach process, right? They teach those things, but sometimes out there in the heat of the moment, you kind of forget a little bit here and there.
Got to remember, there's 22 feet of friction here, so if they decide to move left of 10. It's not going to be very good. There's going to be a lot of hook in the middle of the lane. So you're going to have to get steep and go around it to get the right shape that you're looking for. Great shot by Mika.
Mika is always a very intense guy, but he looks really, really focused this morning. I mean, not looking up, he's just going right after.
Think about all the shows last year he made. He didn't win any of them. I mean, he's got a little bit of that. He's not feeling any pressure, but he's saying, "Hey, it's my time to win."
Overdue.
Made a bunch of shows in a row last year.
Only 8.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we had 14 tournaments. We only made 8 consecutive.
I think it's incredible that he could make 8 in a row and not win one of them.
Yeah.
As great as he is.
Yeah, the odds are probably stacked against you at that point. Asking for it to go. We got around a little bit, but it does. And you hear his good buddy Timo Ratkinen in the background rooting him on.
Got that one a little bit right and still shaped up off it where he does have a little right. Most of the week he's played that hold, though, so he does have a little bit of right, which still shaped. Got the shaker for a triple.
Well, Campbell got away with one last time on this night, and Mika got one there, so the break's even out, in theory. James did want us to give another shout out to Carla. Carla at home with the animals, the pets. That's his jersey there with the horses and everything else out there. And Carla's a big supporter. She keeps James in check, and he's bowling pretty good out here, Carla. But he's thinking about you.
Looks like he might have paralleled a little bit left there. He didn't get that
one
quite as far to the right.
And this is the thing we got to see for James. This was his Achilles heel yesterday, and it almost cost him. Got to buckle down and make this 10-pin.
It's interesting. He uses his first ball, which has a lot of surface on it, to make the spare. So he needs to throw a plastic ball. Tom Carter was talking about it last evening. Steered it home right there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he seems a lot different. He's a very high energy player. And, it seems like he's taking his time. He's taking a deep breath. I think, the last 2 weeks he's really grown as a player. Look right there. He made it. And you know what? 60 years old, you can still grow as a player.
Well, getting the win last week was a big deal. It takes the pressure off. Now, look, I've done it, right? You're pressing a little bit less. You're not trying to get it too hard where it affects your results. So, makes the 10-pin. Back up here on lane 19. Frame number 7.
Really good shot. Not trying to get it all the way to the edge, where you'll see Tony Franklin, when he comes on board, he's going to be trying to get it to the edge. That's when he gets his best reaction.
A double here. Mika's up 23.
Seems like every match he bowled yesterday like this.
Yeah, even in the 4-for-3 match, he started out open. Still shot 250.
Yeah. He wasn't behind very much. I mean, Tony Franklin caught him at the end to beat him in the match for his one loss. And Mika had 524 for the first 2. So, and Tony ran him down in that match. So he wasn't behind in very many matches.
Right, but the one guy that got him both times was Tony Franklin.
Yep. Could be adding a picture of Tony Franklin to the jersey.
No, he's not left-handed.
I know.
We could tape one on the shoulder, though. Oh, very aggressive. That was right. But got every bit of that at the bottom.
Seems like he's getting more and more comfortable with the pair. Has a good read on both lanes. You know what that means for the field? Trouble.
Lots of trouble. Campbell can get to 247, but might be well short.
made that one errant shot, and I think that's what we're going to see throughout the day. The people that can bowl clean games and eliminate those mistakes are the ones that are going to continue to go forward. The elbow got outside. Didn't quite read the front early enough to get it to shape up to the pocket. Little slow down lane. Leaves a 2-pin. James running out of frames.
Hang on. Guess the only consolation is he was in a world of hurt before missing that, but that pretty much seals the deal. Mika's going to move on to bowl Tony Franklin one more time.
He's got to figure out that spare thing going into the U.S. Open next week. It's all ball. I mean, he's using a ball with 360 and 500 on to shoot the spares.
Well, and even for that, right, it's more amplified because the middle of the pattern is so flat, right?
Correct.
It's just going to hook.
That shows how much it hooks in the middle.
Yeah. Come back, make a good shot. Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, those are the small victories, right? You make an errant shot on the one lane, come back, make a good shot. Back to the process, do what you do.
See if Nick is going to try to gather a little bit of information here these last 2 frames.
Move right, square up.
That's more how he played the lane right there. Kept it in front of him, had a little bit of hold to the left. When it hooked early, he just got it over the front a little bit more. That's exactly how he played him. He's probably just waiting for him to stretch a little bit more so that he could do that. He has that, watch out.
He's got a couple boards. The arrows get to the pocket. Just matter if you get down all 10.
Yep. Second ring 10 of the match, 1 on each lane. I'd take 249 every game. I think that's enough.
And there's a look at our stepladder. Mika will defeat James Campbell, go on to bowl Tony Franklin and Parker Bowen the third, and our tournament leader Tom Doherty. You can remember Tom must be beat twice to lose this title as the #1 seed.
To the reactive ball.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm very confident we're gonna see that the next game because we know what Tony's gonna do in lane. So does Mika. He's just getting ready for it. Takeaway for the last 2 weeks, Campbell's got to be ecstatic with his, I mean, you're not happy with the way this game went. You want to win, but look, you got your first title. You make another show.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the catch-22. You're happy, but you're like, oh, man, it could have been just, just a little more. But great week, great bowling, James. On to the U.S. Open in Greeley, Colorado next week. Final score, James Campbell 204. Mika Koivuniemen 249. Tony Franklin from Frisco, Texas, up next. And Jimmy, you know, one of our favorite things we like to do here in the booth is honor our great viewers. And it's time for that Viewer of the Day. Championship Sunday, the 8th of June. All right, what state you got?
California.
New Mexico.
New Mexico. Wow.
Viewer of the Day today is Patrick Ramsey, Florence, South Carolina. Favorite bowler Earl Anthony, and no surprise, Patrick's a lefty. Likes to play some drums. If you won $1 million, you'd be a full-timer out on this tour. We see Patrick at the Florida Stops every year. So congratulations to Mr. Ramsey. He's got a little bowling fan with him there taking a photo too, doesn't he?
Miss Verity.
Yeah, good stuff. Congrats, Patrick. So, Jimmy, you know, we know a lot about Mika. We know a lot about Doherty, Parker, these guys. Tony Franklin, kind of an unknown on the tour. In the bowling circles, he's very well known.
Very well known.
I've got a little info on some of his, some of the things that he's won through the years. He's a North Texas USBC Hall of Famer, which is the Dallas area, which you know there's a lot of great bowlers out of there. So Tony is a Hall of Famer in Texas. I mean, he's won SASBAs, he's won mixed doubles. He won a tournament with his wife Jeannie Franklin back in 2021. A couple wins with some guy named Anthony Simonson. He's kind of good. Interesting that we were talking earlier too. Jeannie and Tony both competed in this event. Does that happen very often, where the husband and wife compete in the same tour stop? Dell and Carolyn was my first one that came to thought, but Carolyn only bowled a couple, and I don't know if Dell was bowling then. Yeah. But regional titles, you know, Red River doubles, which you know that's a tough one to win. Lots of regionals. The Texas Masters years ago. You know, been a member since 1991. 15th in the USBC Open Championships, a 10th in all events back in 2000. Helps Jeannie as owner-operator with the Bowling News, newspaper in Texas. Helps a lot with Dell and Carolyn Ballard and their Ballard versus the Big C. Big cancer fundraiser down there in Texas. So, you know, I'm going to call him Dell because him and Dell are good buddies. But Tony's got a heck of a resume, but his first show here ever on the PBA 50 Tour.
I don't think anybody in this step ladder is sleeping on Tony Franklin.
No, yeah, the bowlers know him, but a lot of our viewers, he's kind of a new name. But, you know, you and I, we've seen him bowl a long time all over. So it should be a good one. So you see our number 2 seed, Parker Bowen, gets a couple practice shots. Tony's going to get his practice shots. And we're going to get on with this next match.
Should be an interesting one. Tony Franklin is the only man to defeat Mika so far.
Twice, actually. Yeah, got him twice. Got him in the 4 for 3 and knocked him into the contenders bracket. Quickly, we just run over a few of our sponsors. Go Bowling, Storm, Kegel, Lane Talk, I Am Bowling. We will have a jersey giveaway before our championship match from our friends at I Am Bowling, so make sure you're tuned in and ready for that.
Tony's going to be using urethane as well. Pitch black.
Yeah, and that's where, we understand how educated these bowlers are. You know, Mika's bowled Tony a couple times. They bowled last night in the match. We saw the guys moving left and right based on what others were doing. Mm-hmm. That's why we know Mika is confident Tony's throwing that pitch black. That's why he's got that gem on. I'm sure for sure that's going to be the gem next game. Lets him stay a little more aggressive maybe with a little bit bigger ball. Do you think that's what we're going to see, or maybe not yet?
I don't think so.
Not yet?
I don't think yet. I mean, you figure they had a little bit of practice. You know, Parker was on the pair, so it was a little bit less than you would normally have. I think Mika, he really hasn't got to the spot where he's got that hold spot that he had where Franklin and Campbell moved in last evening. I think we're going to see it for a while longer for Mika.
Remember, as soon as they moved in, Mika moved out.
Correct. He went the other way.
If you're going to get in my spot, I'm getting in your spot.
Tony looks very comfortable. Most of the week. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, down there with Mitch Beasley, going through a game plan.
Most of the week, Tony has played it where he exposes it all the way to the right, where Mika's kept it in front of him a little bit more. So there's a little bit of a contrast of style, but both of them have thrown lots of strikes.
Not very often we see guys using their practice shots to shoot 10 pins.
That means you're lined up pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, he shot one on each lane.
That means you're pretty confident in the ball reaction that you have.
And Tony, I mean, he always has a lot of confidence, though, right? It's just that's his temper, his demeanor. It's pretty easy going, pretty laid back. Don't ever see him get too wound up.
Got his Dallas Stars jersey on today. Looks like he has really good ball reaction.
Well, one of the things, talking to Robert Lawrence's good friend, it actually crossed together this week and talked about how it helped them both immensely. But Tony has also been making sure he's got a couple of urethanes, not different layouts, it's just fresh surfaces. He said that's been his key. Got to have that fresh surface. So if if it gets in, goes a couple games deep, you'll see him grab another ball, but it's pretty much the same ball, just back to a fresh surface. So that's
got to remember, after each game, they can change the surface on the ball too, though. So
good
if
point.
he does
It's
like
step ladder,
this one,
yeah.
he can change the surface.
Yeah, during qualifying they couldn't do that, but yeah, good point.
Didn't hurt that his wife and Sandy Charles bowl right next to him too.
Oh, so that was one of the best crosses he's had with Robert on his pair and friends all around. So we talked about that, right? The good crosses, it just makes things easier to go through the day. All right, Tony's done. Mika doesn't get any more practice. We're ready to go. Jimmy, what do you think this one? Last match, 204, 249 for Mika. Mika basically hit his average for the tournament.
I could see 240 to 240 here with the last guy to throw a strike is the one that's going to be the winner. I think the person that figures out 19 is the one that's going to win the game.
I was just thinking that, and Tony chose to finish on 19. Are you surprised by that at all?
No. Maybe that's just like the way that he likes. He wants to finish and then let Mika have to step up and have to do it. Everybody's a little bit different. Some players do that just automatically.
Gotta believe that's what this was, because as we watch this, we know 19 has been the tougher of the two. If you can make your guy finish there, I would do it.
Something to keep an eye on. That's the third ring 10 for Mika. 2 on this lane, 1 on the other lane. Hold on. Ooh.
Well, he was saying hold in his backswing. Oof.
The thing all week with Tony is when he got it to the right, his ball shaped perfectly. When he got it in, he could flat 10 or get that ring 10. So we'll see here. He's not afraid to let it go. There's no doubt about that.
First shot, stepladder final, PBA 50 National Tour for a major, Tony Franklin.
Got it all the way over there, but it was a little slow.
The carry gods were looking over his shoulder on this shot.
He was waving it 3/4 of the way down the lane. But you know what? You got to have breaks to win. That'll loosen him up a little bit too, hopefully.
Better shot right there.
Yep. The thing we noticed about Tony yesterday, we never knew if he had a double, if he had 10-bagger, or he had 3 opens in a row. He always looked the same.
But that's a good thing, right? I mean, it means he's going through his process, staying focused, not worried about what's happening. Just, what do you talk, results-oriented versus process-oriented?
Process-driven instead of being results-oriented. As soon as you get results-oriented and start thinking you need a strike, usually good things don't happen. Same kind of hit.
Yeah, Cruplet eye, he got the break as well. Not quite as many pins falling late for Mika, but a strike is a strike. It's on the board. Double and a spare 9 starting out this match number 2.
I don't think he wanted to get it that far right. Caught a break. Played a little bit more of the hold that time.
No flat 10 there.
Kept that one in front of him a little bit more.
Right up 5.
Yep. I think real quick, one of the things you brought up about Tony having 2 different balls, I want to explain why. We're bowling on a shorter pattern, 38 feet. You need your ball to read the front part of the lane so it'll slow down on the back portion of it. That's why he has 2 of them. Yeah, if your ball gets a little bit too long, won't read the pattern correctly, he's not having that problem.
I think you're right, though. This can be 240 plus.
Yeah. We used to do that with Jesper all the time. Jesper would have 2 or 3 of them with a lot of surface. You know, as he went through rounds, as soon as his ball stopped hooking a little bit, he went right to the other one because he needed to make sure the ball read the front part of the lane. Very smart by Tony Franklin.
Got up on his toes on that one.
Yep.
Was just hoping it would lay off.
Yep.
Very makeable.
There's that first mistake we talked about. You know, every match, the person who has the least amount of mistakes is going to have it. Mika has very good control of the pocket. You're right. Very makeable. Ooh. We have seen the 6 taken out of that about 4 times.
We have, yeah. As flat as the middle, as much middle lane hooks. When you get outside, we've seen a lot of them like that, just fly by it all. Even a few gutter balls this week, you know, with which was surprising on the shorter pattern. If you missed right early, especially, it wasn't coming back.
Yeah. Tony gave away a lot of pins that frame.
Puts his max at 259 now. So now, you know, if you're Tony, you think if I strike out, you still got to have Mika miss 2 more times.
Mika historically pounces on these situations.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, pretty good.
That was the best shot we've seen.
Yeah. It's funny, he's still shaping a little bit more than he was the last couple days.
Member of the Finland National Sports Hall of Fame, not just bowling, National Sports Hall of Fame.
A lot of hockey players in that one.
There is. He is the only bowler. He does have a title here, and surprisingly enough, it's a major on the PBA 50 Tour 2018 out at Suncoast, the U.S. Open. I was fortunate enough to be on the call for that one as well. So no surprise that Mika gets his 2nd title on this tour. It's a major. That's why they call him Major Mika.
Slapped a 10 out. He wanted to get up the hill there. Right here, he was need to hook a little bit there. Get that 10 out of there. Tony needs to respond right here. Not let Mika get too far away. Oh. Good shot. Good comeback shot.
We were talking about the cross earlier, and you know, the group of friends that Tony has. You got Junie sitting right behind, Robert Lawrence sitting right behind him here in the stepladder final. Clint Dacey, his good friends, are right here rooting him on, trying to will it home for him, but he's got some work to do. He's got to
Chris
need some
Hibbins
help.
watched him bowl a lot yesterday too.
You mentioned Sandy Charles was here. She's back home now watching. Hi, Sandy.
Birthday girl this week.
I don't like using the term must strike, but feels like that's where he's at right now.
It's funny, he's made 5 out of 6 great shots and he's down 30. That's what happens when you bowl against a Hall of Famer. He knocked the holes out of that one. See it tipped off the back a little high and tripped to 4. He didn't miss that one.
I feel like he just almost moved right and squared things up and just jammed it in there.
Yep. The other, yesterday he was closer to, 7, 8, 9. Now he's actually moved to the right. Yeah, that was about 6. 6 to 3. Can't give Meek an opportunity. Does the same thing every time. Look, never in a hurry. Bowls when he needs to go.
Gotta get there.
Slap to 10 again. Definitely looked like he's had more, a little bit more nervous whether it was going to get up the hill on the left lane and the right lane.
No doubt. No doubt.
Tony's in a can't miss anymore situation, I think, to have any chance. Still might not be enough.
His max 249. Quality shot right there. You see his reaction. He's still a little dejected. How this one's happening here.
Probably not the word I would use.
Well, that's the
Maybe a
problem.
bit annoyed.
Yeah,
Did he made that one shot before?
We'll keep it PG today.
I said annoyed.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're thinking because I was thinking the same thing.
Got to let it go and come right back. Though he did with a ring 10 and then a double. He hasn't done anything wrong. Mika just not making mistakes. Posted that one up. Great shot.
Couple good shots, but as you mentioned, is it too little, too late? He's got to have help. That's all there is to it. If he strikes out, he's got to have some help. And Mika leaving a couple 10 pins isn't the help he needs. I mean, he needs, a mistake. Mika has had very few of those this week.
Mika is pacing 249, which if Tony strike out and he pays through, there's a chance there's a tie. Very slim chance, but there's a chance.
The math is there.
The math is there. Oh, that might have changed the game.
Just a little bit.
Looked like he got down a little bit farther out on the lane. Didn't quite get his hand underneath it and catch it, make it to read the front soon enough to get it to shape. Never really got into the roll.
Right in the face. No doubter.
We did see a few 8-10s this week.
A couple 7-9s, too.
Yeah. Never changes the amount of time he takes. Every single time, it's constant. I bet if you timed it, it's almost identical every time. Mentally one of the strongest players on the tour, no doubt. Got around that one a little bit more.
That was crispy right there.
Yeah, that wasn't quite off his hand the same way. Got around a little bit more to make sure that it came off the back. It's the first one that's really faced up to the pocket, you know, on that lane.
Well, back to what you were just talking about, potential tie here. You know, if Mika goes spare strike, it's 249. Tony can strike out for 249, so pretty simple. Got to have them all.
He's got great facial reactions.
What? He looks a little surprised with that one. Get a little room, maybe. I don't know.
I thought that was okay.
His reaction wasn't quite in agreement with what we saw, but
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
no.
Here's what you said. He elected to finish on the tougher lane.
Yeah, that's. You said, you know, maybe that's just he always likes to go in that order, but on this pair, man, you got to put Mika over there. I mean, what did we see earlier? You know, the 10 pins, Mika's leaving more on lane 19.
Yep.
Not that he's leaving many of anything.
No.
But
Tony taking a little bit extra time here. Got it right really quick. That's called the old school Houdini strike, the Harry Houdini magical strike.
Robert Lawrence was around looking at me like, can you believe that? No.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Now, what you got to do? What's your term for that?
Parlay.
Yeah, got to get the last one here
get all
to
10 here.
force Mika to fill 20 in the 10th. Force
It's
Mika
amazing
to
how many
strike
guys
10.
do it too. The great ones always do it. And he did. Mika's saying, what do I need to do to win a game?
Well, spare strike is a tie.
Yeah.
Strike is a winner.
That was aggressive. That was nice. The other one he just got right a little quick, went offline.
And you can hear how much the crowd appreciated that finish. They know what Tony went through this game. Throws the back 7. Force your opponent to do something in the 10th frame if he wants that win.
Man, how many times Mika been in this situation in his lifetime? Hundreds?
Think he wanted that?
What is that all?
Think he wanted that?
Wow.
Look at that intensity.
Wow.
Like I said, 8 shows last year without a title.
Oh, I know.
You want? Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't want. You don't. He doesn't want to say a 9.
Great shot. They always strike.
Well, 240 wasn't enough. 249 and a loss for Tony Frank. One of the redemption for Mika. Tony beat him twice in the matches this week, and Mika got it when it mattered here in the step ladder. Another little tester with the gem just to see. Yeah, that's definitely not ready for that yet.
No gems. What a match.
Yeah, got a lot closer than what we thought there for a little bit. And how about this next matchup, Jimmy? A couple Hall of Famers, Mika Koivuniemi and Parker Bone III.
I got to tell you, I hate to say it, Parker's the wild card because the left has not been very good on this pair at all. Parker Bode here against Pete Weber struggled to get any ball reaction at all. Last night, Andy Nyer struggled to get any ball reaction at all. The left lane is extremely difficult. They had a hard time. You know, it wouldn't shape off the back at all. We'll see how Parker attacks this.
Doherty's going to get a couple practice shots as well. But the positive, I guess, if we want to find a few for Parker, is that his struggles have definitely come when there's been traffic on the left side.
Correct.
It's just him right now, so that's going to help him a little bit.
You are correct.
.35 standards, 3 majors for Parker Bone III on the regular tour, 9-2 on this 50 tour. That adds up to a whole lot of winning throughout his career. And both of these players are looking to do the Masters double, the regular Masters and the PBA 50 Masters. One of them's going to have their chance. But Tom Doherty, he wants to play spoiler. Wants his first title.
Mika never won the Masters?
Yeah, Mika. Yeah, Mika.
Oh,
Mika and Parker both have a chance to.
I'm sorry, I thought
add
you
to the
said
senior
Tom.
Masters.
How about all 3 major champions here?
Yeah, Tom won the World Championship in 2021. Back at home in Tampa, got the nickname Tampa Tom.
Parker won the World Championship as well, in addition to some other majors.
Little reactive test for a few shots there. Something that was pretty interesting in Tom's interview with USBC the other day, about why is he bowling this tour? Yes, we knew he was going to come out and bowl this tour. We weren't sure at the end of the season, regular season, how many times. He's been out here for everyone so far. But he mentioned in the interview, he's out here to keep adding to his stats to get Hall of Fame eligible. We've seen some players get to that point on this tour. Ron Moore, Tom Hess, Lenny Borsch. That's the first time I've heard Tom Doherty mention that and say the same thing. So he's getting a little driven, and if he knows if he can get this major, that's a big deal. 4th event for Tom, and he's the #1 seed and has been beat twice. But either way, he's bowling a Hall of Famer, so it's not. He's gonna have to earn it.
Gonna be no easy road. I got to think Parker's going to finish on 20. I would think. I would think he would start the match.
Yeah, I don't think he's as superstitious or as some guys, right? I think he's going to figure out which lane he likes the best or know which one his opponent likes the least. And look, it's a numbers game, right? Percentages. Mika's missed, 5 times, 6 times out of 20 shots.
And most
4 were over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
see how
play the odds.
Doesn't pick up on that left lane. Probably wasn't, he was experimenting, but just keep an eye on it. That lane is been that way for years too, and it's not any different than any normal.
Well, and for these players, they've been in this building quite a bit. Parker probably a lot more than Tom Doherty. Understanding the tendencies, what the lanes have to give you, the topography, the old T word that we've talked about now for several years.
Parker's ball hasn't went through the pins very good in practice. You know what they say? Historically, all the shows I was on, assisted on players is when you don't strike a lot in practice, sometimes you strike a lot in the match.
You can't win practice.
Nope.
Right? He didn't do it, Jimmy.
No, he didn't.
I mean, Mika's got to be just giddy inside.
Yeah, I'm very shocked by that. The majority of his misses have been on this lane. Pretty smart guy. Might know what he's doing. Starting to get that little hold spot right there. You didn't ask me to pick the score on this one. I'll steer clear of this because Parker could bowl 195 or 279.
Yeah, it could be one or the other.
I think Mika's going to be around 230.
I'm going to give you the shocker stat of the week. Mika's at 517 for 2. Are you surprised by that? He's been at 500 for 2 every set.
I will tell you, that's the farthest right that Parker's been all week. Definitely look like he's paralleled in.
You know, one thing I think Parker does as good as any player out there, you know, his resume is obviously very impressive. But when he works with his ball reps, you know, Jeff Johnson down there, they have a legit conversation. They're going back and forth, and he's listening. He's not just saying, it's not just I'm Parker, I know what I'm doing, right? They share a lot of info and make the best educated choices.
Yep. Looks like he's not going to try to use that friction at all. He's going to stay away from it. Keep his angle straight through the front. Down, I've seen it 100 times. People don't strike in practice. A lot of strikes.
That was pretty good right there.
Yeah.
Look at this arm swing.
Doesn't have any room for mistakes.
Right over 5.
You know what I mean? He doesn't make mistakes. The swing is straight as an arrow. Swing line's right down his target line. It's very conducive to throwing a lot of strikes.
Well, and he's got to be one of the most accurate players out there because he makes every pattern flat with his loft. He's going right past all the shape in the pattern no matter what's out there.
Gotta hook.
Got to go a lot.
Gotta go. Oh, I thought it was going to roll.
The left lane.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to let it go. It's going to drive me crazy. That's definitely the tough one for Mika.
He did miss considerably right to where he was playing. So obviously,
No,
it's
he
more
did.
difficult. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've been on that all week. Definitely not as much free return on that lane.
Center cut.
Parker's went to the old school method. When in doubt, keep it on line.
Give him the heater, Ricky.
That's a whole zone right of where he played 95% of the time this week. Must have found something in practice he liked.
He was our #1 seed. Broke the qualifying scoring record again, his own record. Starts out with 751 against John Rakoski, 696 winner against Pete Weber, 738 against Cruz, 696 against Campbell, 771 against Tony Franklin. So Barker's put up some pretty big numbers.
Going with the speed mode. Hard and keep it on line.
Like I said, you can see that ball going left to right. How this drives through the pin deck.
Puts the early pressure on Mika. Mika has not been behind in very many matches at all this week. We'll see how he responds here. Slow. Very slow. Didn't see that big long arm swing like we're used to seeing. He kind of, that wasn't quite as long, a little soft. Left off his hand, 3-6. Two shots for him you don't see very often. You know, errant shots. One he got a little right, one a little slow. Maybe the lanes are changing a little bit, and he's having to, they're transitioning. He's got to make some adjustments here. Better make them quick, though, because Parker seems to be dialed in.
Yeah, you know, there are players on the tours you don't want to give opportunities, and Parker's a Hall of Famer for a reason. You give him the opportunity, he's not going to give it back.
Ball change. Went to the reactive. Didn't like what he saw on 19. Reactive broke loose. He's in trouble. Bounce it out of there.
Try to give it a run. 93 in the fifth. Mika Koivaniemi, Parker Bowen, front four. Parker with a commanding lead.
I think he realized the urgency right there that he needed to get some strikes and how to take a shot because he didn't think that Parker was going to slow down.
Sure.
A little farther left. Last couple been a little bit more up the lane. That one he got a little bit farther to the left. Still came off it. He was still trying to get that 7 out though.
A little high, just a 6-pin.
Yep. Couldn't really see from that angle. We weren't behind it. Fill the frames. Now Mika's got to make a decision.
So pretty much right back where we were in the Mika-Tony Franklin match, right?
Yep.
Tony gave him the opening early, and Mika stood there and watched Tony throw the back 7. So he's going to have to do the same thing.
Eerily similar. I would think Mika goes back to the...
Nope.
Nope, gem. I would think he's probably going to give it away a little bit more. He has to, because there's more shape down lane with a reactive ball. Lofted it more. That was end over end at its finest.
Got the first
His
one.
hand at the bottom where it was straight through the middle of the ball, end over end, slowed down. A shaker. This is the lane. It's a move he made the other night, last night too, when he moved to the right.
He's been doing that in a lot of his matches, right? It's basically 2 games with the urethane, 1 with the gem.
He actually got around that one to make it come off. The other lane, he was so at the back. That one, he got around it just a little bit. Watch his hand at the release. Just around it a little bit at the bottom so it would tip down lane for the double.
There's a reason he's a Hall of Famer, Jimmy.
That was pretty good. See how that one never really got as far to the left as the other one? That's more like the ones he had earlier. Still has to pay attention here, though. Needs a double somewhere to... There's his double. How long that follow through was. 2 of the most textbook games in bowling history right here. Now Parker's pacing more than Mika's max.
That was pretty good.
Very good.
Just trying to give himself a chance. Mika won the first game against James Campbell, 249-204. Game 2 over Tony Franklin, 268-249. His max here is 243, and he might be quite a bit short. Strike here to still give himself a chance to stay in this one against Parker Bone III.
Great shots.
Well, did his job. All right, now he's got to wait.
It's interesting on that lane. He has to get the friction a little bit more because it's a little bit tighter overall. Oh, got it left. Wow, caught a break there.
Sure did. That could have been the old 3-7.
Missed it at the bottom, got it left. A lot of 9.
And he cut a mark in the 10th. And we'll have our 1 seed versus 2 seed. Almost feels fitting. That's the way it ends out. 2 best bowlers this week will bowl for the title. There's the winner. How long did he see that 7? It was about a 100th of a second, but how long did Parker see that 7 and 10 standing? We felt like an eternity. Look at this pin action. 62 years old with pin action like that.
Yeah.
Do you think he has Brandon?
Got that one a little farther left.
Wow. Back-to-back shots. Similar, almost the same result. What's that telling me he's got to do, though, Jimmy? I mean,
he's got to make sure he keeps it in front of him. When he gets and tries to shape it a little bit, it's a little bit slower reaction off the left. Yeah, that's what we've seen. It's harder for them to get it up the hill. The lefties on that pair, so or on that lane, actually on lane 19. So he needs, every time he's kept it in front of him, making that one move to the pocket, hasn't had an issue. A couple times he went around, could have 7-10 2 times in a row. So his key is keeping it in front of him.
so the 1 seed, Parker Bone III, will be taking on the 2 seed, Tom Doherty. Tom has to be beat twice. How does that affect his game plan, Jimmy, here in the first match?
I think he's going to go what he thinks is the best option, be proactive, and watch how the match develops. We saw him throw some reactive balls in practice. I got to think his urethane balls are coming out first.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so.
I know he's been watching. He's been watching every match pretty intently. He's got a solid game plan all week long. This crowd appreciates what Mika Koivuniemi's done in his career and what he's done this week. Great round of applause right there. Well, we teased it earlier, and it's time for a I Am Bowling jersey giveaway. I Am Bowling, a brand for all bowlers. Go to IamBowling.com for jerseys, shirts, accessories, and more. Head over to IamBowling.com today. Click the link, take you there, and here's a little message from our friends at I Am Bowling, and after this, we'll give away a jersey.
This is I Am Bowling. We craft unique and creative customizable jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, and apparel that meets your needs for every occasion. We use both cutting-edge technology and traditional craftsmanship to carefully craft designs that remain vibrant and durable over time. When you order with us, a new piece is crafted just for you. We offer premium products that can be customized to fit your desires. Bowling is fun, so come join us at IamBowling.com today and experience all our amazing products.
All right, you all know how to do it. Get ready when you see that box pop up in the bottom left of your screen. Click Submit Entry, and you'll have a chance to win a jersey from I Am Bowling.
Tom's first practice shot was with reactive.
I'm 50-50. I agree with what you're saying. Probably urethane early, but he's going to be ready for that reactive. It's not going to be a maybe. It's when he goes, he's committing to it. So
I like the controllability of the urethane for a little bit, because if Parker doesn't get off to a quick start and Tom has an opener early, which he could do, like you just saw there where the ball breaks loose off the friction. I mean, I don't know.
I remember when we saw Tom really in his A game, he was just jamming that urethane right up like 7-8 firm, just getting after it.
Does have 2 games, though, remember.
That was very important for Gary Haynes when he won the regular Masters that second game this year.
He's going to throw reactive. He's committed. He's not throwing. He hasn't thrown a urethane ball yet. And you could look at it the other way, too. Hey, I have 10 frames to get lined up. Even if I lose the first game, you know, I'll have the ability to get lined up. And then the second game, I can, if needed, you know, I already know where to play. I know what to, so he's not guessing on a ball change.
Right.
Makes sense.
And there's your chance right now. Submit the entry. Well, those last couple shots are pretty good.
Yeah. A little left to the second arrow, 10, 11, 12 to, you know, wherever he wants to get it to.
And when we say reactive, he's not throwing he's not throwing a gem like Mika was. I think
No.
it's a stinger, maybe is what I think I heard that is. So it's a, you know, the mid, almost entry level, just a lower end. You know, it's not going to be, you know, a lot of early hook. He's not going to control the front of the pattern like Mika was with the gem. But this lets him stay extra aggressive, correct?
Yep, that's like 12 to like 3. Looks pretty good.
Sure does. And congratulations, Steven. Information will be coming your way from marketing shortly to pick out your jersey and the size. Thanks for playing, everybody. Championship match. 2025 USBC Senior Masters. Tom Doherty, Parker Bowen III. Coming up next, Craig Elliott, Jim Callahan here on the call. Jimmy, give me your score. Game number 1. Who wins it?
Tom Doherty, 235 to 218.
So no if necessary.
No.
All right.
I think Tom is going to make Parker finish on the left lane.
So that would be the lowest scoring match we've seen today as well.
Correct. I was pretty good on the other one, 240, 240. I said the last guy that gets up there as a strike was going to win. You know, it's, again, Parker's a wild card. You don't know. You know, he threw really good shots. Maybe he bowled a perfect game, as you say, where he got it off his hand. The ones that he didn't throw great didn't go through the pins great.
Right.
So maybe if he's not as sharp this game.
Well, that's what's been the unique thing that we both picked up on. You talked about a lot in this pattern is, that Nick Hogan developed is you have to make good shots to strike. Right? Yeah, we've seen a couple iffy shots at carry, but they were still pretty good shots. They weren't like horrible. But if you miss a little bit, don't get off your hand right, your penalties have been splits. You know?
Man, does Tom have any choice but to make him finish on 19?
No, but nobody's forced that yet.
Look, he's starting. I think. I don't know.
Yes.
Parker's starting. Man.
Well, what do we know?
Wow. It's hard to believe. I know I've watched this lane about 70 times in the last 2 weeks, and 19 has not been good. Every miss has been on 19 by both guys, righties and lefties.
.49 combined titles from both tours for Parker Bowen III. This could be number 50. And the 8-pin says your frame's not over yet.
Much straighter through the front, taking that wiggle out of play, getting it to the left.
No problem with the conversion. All right, first shot, bowling for a title. Tom Doherty here in his PBA 50 career, the young 50-year-old. Got a lot of rookies on this tour this year, and a win here could put him way ahead for Rookie of the Year.
He was the favorite coming in.
No question.
Oh, that's left. And the advantage. That was only 5 or 6 left. It was break point down the lane.
Well, it was only one arrow, right?
Yeah.
So just one board. It just had an arrow on it.
We'll see if he parlays this one. It's like finding 10 pins right there, especially if he strikes here. He's not going to throw another one like that.
A little nervousness on that one. Just
Could have
not
been
a good shot.
what
right?
it appeared to be.
This would be one of those great matches to have both players mic'd up because they get along great. They, even in their match the other day, they were chatting the whole time, just enjoying each other's company. He can bounce pins, no question. Throws it hard on anybody out here.
Parker could be seeing a little bit of transition.
But he's been in this position multiple times in his career, right? Being the only lefty following his own transition. So you know that affects his game plan coming in, knowing what the moves are going to be.
Yep. One of the greatest spare shooters of all time. No problem there. Off to a little rough start here. That was a good one.
5 shots in, our first pocket strike there, and it's Parker Bowen the third in frame 3 that gets it. Look at that head, so steady.
Kept
The
it
entire
right in
approach.
front of him. Yep, didn't go around it at all. See if Tom can come back off for a couple. There you go. That's what he was trying to do. 11-12 to 2-3, 10 back. Need that Specto app so I can be more accurate. It's hard to guess through his body.
Oh, got that one out.
It's all right. I like that one.
We're just not used to seeing that with urethane balls, though.
Been watching balls be slow. Yeah.
Scared me for a second.
That's exactly what he was looking to do right there. Just a matter of whether it was going to carry or not. Ooh, 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 ooh.
He knew it. You knew it. We all knew it. Wide left.
Yep.
Oh, and that 6-pin fell late. You almost want that standing back up, don't you? Makes this a little bit easier.
Yeah, it would make it a little bit easier. Like we talked about, he aced a lot of shots last games. The ones that he wasn't as sharp on when he got them farther left, none of them have read the lane really correctly. Could have had back-to-back 7-10s. He had 3-7-9 there. Has to keep it in front of him. If he doesn't do that, he's not going to read the lane correctly. especially on this lane, too. More up the lane, 10 back. It's amazing. Darty can take the lead with a double. Doesn't even need a double.
Staring it down. Where'd that pin come from?
Yeah, I counted wrong. You already had the lead before you
Yeah.
threw that shot.
Well, look at this pin come flying in and just obliterates the 9. Nice little slow-mo there. Posting it, staring it down. Yeah.
9 goes late. His angle's been really good. I think his angle has to be almost perfect because as much shape as he's playing down lane, if he misses in, it's going to be high, Greg. He has to get it all the way over there. Oh. It's unbelievable he does that.
Yeah, unreal how he does that. Remember, he's got no thumb in the ball.
Yeah.
And to be able to hold that and not let the ball go.
He basically gets his hand under it and like palms it to stop. Got to be so strong to do that.
Oh, that was way right. Oh, Jimmy. Really? That could have gone in the gutter.
Wow. "50-year-old power right there. Yeah, it was.
Look at this.
Yeah, that was.
He's
hanging
thinking
on there.
0. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Look at that head pin.
Parker has to keep it in front of him. Yeah.
And that's just the difference in power, right? I mean,
Correct.
Doherty gets that massive pin action. Parker gets some pin action, but they're going the wrong direction.
Yep. He's had that twice, and then he had a 3.79. Thinking through his thought process now, I think, like you say, if he keeps it in front of him. I mean, I hate to be so redundant. The ones on the left have been really good. This match has made a total flip around, and Doherty's in control. It's getting late.
Makes a spare, but Tom Doherty, ball in hand. First championship round appearance, bowling for a title. Ball's in his court right here.
Parker has max 216. Tom gets one here. He's got to stay clean.
Yeah, Doherty's 9 out every frame. He's 2-0.
Yeah,
so
he needs this one. If he gets this one,
fill a few frames.
yeah, if he
Nothing
gets this
but-
one, he needs to make some spares. Beautiful shot. Shook those nerves early in the match. Great shots. You got to think the one he threw on the left lane last time where Amos threw in the gutter and came back and strike. That's got to loosen you up a little bit too.
Yeah, just a touch. Just a touch. Pretty solid game plan for Tom Doherty. Knowing what was going on to the pair before he got there, committed to the reactive. Yeah, got a couple breaks, but you know what? You need that in these matches, right? You're not going to throw everything perfect. And he's just a couple ways away from a major title.
Tom still needs a couple spares if Parker strikes out. It's all over now. Parker with a fantastic week. Broke scoring records all the way through. Big scores. Tough pair for him to bowl on here. Had a big game last game, but I figured he might struggle a little bit this game.
And that streak continues. 21 years now since the lefties won this tournament.
Would you be shocked if Tom Doherty came back and won the U.S. Open next week?
Wouldn't be shocked at all.
I wouldn't either.
No, not
He
at
won
all.
both in a row.
You know, he's always confident, right? He's never lacking confidence at all. Put a win under your belt, walking into another major. 3 majors in a row on this tour. Next one's in Greeley, Colorado, starting Thursday actually, of this week.
Man, how nice is that to bowl the last 2 frames? No, you already won.
It's the extended victory lap.
Very nice. Well deserved. Something we didn't really talk about either is and I don't know the exact numbers, and I don't think you do either, Craig, that has the number 1 and the number 2 seed ever played against each other for the title in a Masters.
Yeah, I think a lot of us in the tournament office in agreement it probably hasn't happened. Nothing stands out that it has happened because it's just so hard in this format. We're at 64 players, but hey, 2 players bowled the best all week, bowl for the title, and Tom Doherty comes out on top. Congratulations to Tom. Well deserved. That will be his 5th combined title on the 2 tours.
I need a double 9 to get his score right.
Oh, of course it goes.
Very rarely get victory laps like this. I'm sure Tom's savoring the victory here. Major champion on both tours now. World champion and a Masters champion.
Final shot. Tom Doherty, your 2025 USBC Senior Masters champion. First title on this tour. There it is. Congratulations, Tom Doherty.
Senior Masters champion. Congratulations, Tom. First PGA 50 major title right here. How about a round of applause for Parker Bowman III? Fantastic run. Set some scoring records early in that second place finish. Hall of Famer Parker Bowman III.
Great bowling this week, Parker Bowman III. Let's bring out our champion, Tom Doherty. We have Dennis Hacker, USBC president, coming out for the trophy presentation. Tom Peppinger, manager here of the Bowling Center. All right, Tom, we got the photos done. Congratulations. Yeah. First title here on this tour, second major, fourth event. You beat a legend to do it. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, we were talking earlier. It's hard to believe that he hasn't won one of these. He seems a bit snake-bitten in this tournament. So he told me he used all his luck to win the regular Masters, so he said he wouldn't trade it for the world, but he's going to get one. I mean, he leads it every year. It's just a matter of getting the right draw and maybe getting on a pair where he can strike, because I bowled him last night, and he probably missed the pocket a couple times and threw 5 strikes, and pretty much the same thing happened today. So he bowled amazing all week. I just got lucky to catch him on the right pairs.
Well, it's not often that the 1 and 2 seeds end up bowling for the final match. That happened here this week. You two were the best players in the field. Anybody at home watching you want to give a shout-out to?
Just everybody at Lightning Strikes. Robert Eddy, he's a great proprietor down in South Florida. He helps me out a lot, and all the people back at my home center, I know they're rooting for me, so thank you.
Bowling's not done. We got to pack up and head to another major, Greeley, Colorado, next week. 2 in a row?
Can't win them both if you don't win the first one.
All right. Congratulations, Tom Doherty, your 2025 USBC Senior Masters champion. As I say, this is the end. Congratulations, Tom Doherty. Had a great game plan, stuck to it, got the win.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, again, he said the same thing we said. Tough pair for Parker. Bowled the big game against Mika. He's bowled on this pair a couple times. It's a really tough pair for the lefties. And Tom got a couple breaks, took advantage of them, and, he's well-deserved champion.
And you can see what this means to him. We didn't go real in-depth interview, but he's a little emotional, and you know this is a special one. He came out here with high expectations. We put those expectations on him, probably did to himself. 4th tournament, gets to win. It's a major. It could be off the races now for Tom Doherty.
He could win next week just as well.
Could be fun to watch. Yeah, could be fun to watch. Any surprises this week? The 1-2 comes down to the 1-2 again. Anything stand out to you, what we saw here?
I think it's a surprise that a lefty doesn't win again for the 20th year. I mean, like you said, Parker's dominated qualifying in this event over the years. And, that's what's tough about this event. You got to get the right draw. You got to be on the right pairs. Parker bowled incredible all week. Caught a bad break and bowled on the wrong pair.
You know, sometimes that's just bowling, but Tom Doherty made some good shots when he had to. He got a couple nice ones in there, but you know what? With his power, his rev rate, his speed, he's going to get those hits, and he got them. And that's going to bring it to the end of the coverage here for us as well. Jimmy, thank you for joining me this week. Appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Big shout-out, thanks to USBC, BPW, and the Board of Directors for letting us bring you this Bowl TV program, and, of course, the fans out there for watching. We know you love bowling. We love it, too. Great support here in the building. Todd Peppinger and the staff here at Samstown treat us fantastic every year. Big shout-out to them. Our tournament staff. Damon Sirocco, Gary Brown, taking care of business here. Big shout out to BK as well for joining us this week. You know, on the ones and twos there, pushing the buttons. And we're going to pack up, head to Greeley. Another major starts Wednesday for practice session, Thursday for competition. So a couple days off here on Bowl TV. Come back and join us then. We appreciate it, buddy. I'm Craig Elliott. We will see you in Greeley. Remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here.